So in HTML, we have many elements. One is div tag, hello world, and another is h1 tag, hello world, and we have many such elements. And we also have few elements like span, hello world, and we have a tag, and a tag is also something, some link. So we have couple of elements like div tag, we have hello world, we have span tag, and we have a tag, and there are many other elements. So these are the few tags I have taken for today. Now, what is difference between this div tag and this span tag? If you see the design view, this is my div tag, this is my h1 tag, this is span tag, and this is link tag. Let's add one more span tag after the link tag. So this is my span tag. So now you tell me, this is span tag and this is div tag. What is difference between these two?
I think the span tag is inline and the div tag makes the new line.
Okay, right. So if you see the div tag, it takes the whole width of the browser. And if I put another div tag, it will not come after the first div tag, but it will come in the new line. Next hello world comes in the new line. Whereas if I put two span tag together, they come in the same line. They are in the same line. So this is called as block level element. Div tag is called block level element because it takes the whole block. And this span is called inline element because it does not take the whole of the width. It takes the space only this much. And after that we can put new element. And after that we can put new element. A tag is also inline element. So it comes, we can put after a tag, we can put another span tag which will come in same line. So this is the difference between the div tag and the span tag. Now we can, since div tag is the block level, we can forcefully make it inline like a span tag. So to make it inline like span tag, let's create the style tag. So I want to make this div tag like the span tag. So what I will do, I will go to the CSS panel. I can do manually also here, but I want to show you how to do using CSS panel, and the code will automatically be generated. So you don't have to write it manually, just remember it. So in the block, I can choose it as inline and I'll apply it. So it will create a property called as display is equal to inline. That means we are changing div tag to behave like a span tag. So go design view, you will see both the hello world is now coming in the same line because we changed the property of div tag to behave like the span tag. And for the span tag, I can change it to behave like the div tag. That is, it should come in the new line. I also want to change a tag because here a tag is also there. So let's change a tag also. If I want to do both at one time, I can put comma and I can give a tag. That means whatever properties I will put here, it will be applied to span tag also, a tag also. So if I want to make it behave like the div tag, I'll choose a span tag and I will say display equal to block. So once I say display equal to block, it will behave like a div tag. So if I go to design view, you will see all are going into the new line. So that means we change the cloth of span tag to behave like a div tag. We change the div tag to behave like the span tag. So this is called display inline. This is the property of the span tag by default, but we are putting this display inline to the div tag. So now div tag will behave like a span tag, and span tag will behave like a div tag because we put display equal to block for the span tag. So this is the two things we should know what we are doing. Sometimes we need to change span tag to behave like a div tag. We can use this display equal to block. And sometimes we want to change div tag to behave like a span tag. We say display equal to inline. We can also hide the element using the display property. We are learning about the display. So this is the topic of today. We are learning the display. So now we want to change, we want to hide this h1 tag. So to hide the h1 tag, we can use display equal to none. So we want to use display equal to none. That means this hello world heading 1 will be hidden now. So if I go to design view, you will see that heading 1 is hidden because I put display is none. If I remove it, you will see hello world is there. So display is also used to hide the things. Now there is another property also that is called as visibility equal to hidden. This will also hide the things. If I use visibility hidden, h1 tag is invisible. Let's do it in the browser. Sometimes many things don't work on the Dreamweaver. So I put visibility hidden, so it's not appearing here. So I use visibility hidden or I say display none. In both the cases, the element is gone. Let's see what is the difference between display none and visibility hidden. So for example, if I have h2 tag with display none, both hide the element. This is also hide the element. This is also hide the element. We should know what is the difference between the two. I'll put h2 tag. In the h2 tag, we are saying display equal to none. In both cases, we don't see it. Let's try to understand the difference between display tag and the hidden tag. So if I go to h1 tag, we have visibility equal to hidden. If I uncheck it, that means I can see that one. But if I check it, I don't see it. Let's go to h2 tag. If I uncheck it, the hello world is coming. If I check this one here on the right side bottom, it's going off. So let's try to understand the difference between the two. Let me open the notes. So we have in the CSS, we have display equal to none or visibility equal to hidden. If I say visibility hidden equal to hidden, the element is present there. If I right click it and inspect it, so element is there here. H1 tag is there. In H2 tag is also there. Element is there, but element is present there, and it takes the space. It takes the necessary space. And if I use display none, element is present but hidden. Here also we have hidden, and it does not take the necessary space. Let's try to do it again, and in this time let's try to do. I will try to. I will try to show you here with the span tag. It will be easy. So this is called span 1. This is called span 2, and this is called link. This is called span 3. So let's try to now give the visibility. Okay, let's remove this display block level things. So let's remove this part also. We have every element. Now I will go to the span 2. Now I will make this span 2 as visibility hidden. So you will see span 2 is gone, but space is there. That means wherever the span which space it was taking, it is present, but element is hidden. Instead of visibility hidden, if I say display none, you will see the space is gone. The other element is taking the space. So we don't have the space, and the element is not displayed here in the HTML. Whereas in the visibility, element is not there, but space is there. That means it does not remove the space. Visibility does not remove the space, whereas display removes the space. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay, so we look two things. One thing was different type of elements. Some are block level, some are inline, and we can change the default property to different. That is, display is changed to inline. Here, display is changed to block. We also use display equal to none to hide the element. If I use display equal to none, the space which element is occupying will be removed. So another element will take its space. But if I use visibility equal to hidden, the space is there for that element, and another element will not come in place of the first element. So here we hide the things, but it will take the necessary space. In display none, we hide the things, but it will not take the necessary space. It will go off. The space will go off, and another element will take its place. So these two things we did today in the CSS. We'll put it in the chat. So this is about display and visibility. We use very much in CSS this property display and visibility. So try to remember these both things thoroughly, because we have to use a lot these things. Now let's go to the JavaScript. We created yesterday for loop. I will save as file.html, and here we will use the while loop now. This is the for loop which we used. Let's try to use the while loop. So if I want to go from 0 to 10 number, I can use a for loop and I can console the log using this syntax. That is for y equal to 0 is the initial position, I is less than 10 is final position, and I plus plus is middle position. Now what is the syntax for while loop? So syntax for while loop. So while loop works like this: while condition and the curly bracket, and it here the code will run whatever you put, and then here you have to change the condition, because if you don't change the condition, and if condition is true, it will run the code forever. It will not stop. It will go on running the code non-stop. So we have to say if while this condition, then run this code, and after it run the code, we have to change the condition. So at one time, the condition should be false. So if the condition is true, the code will go on running. If you don't change the condition, that means initially if condition is true, the code will go on running, go on running, go on running. It will never stop and it will crash the browser. We have to force the browser, close the browser by forceful means. So what we have to do, we will put some condition what is true, and the code will start running 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time, 6 time, 7 time, 8 time, 9 time, 10 time. And somehow after each loop we have to change the condition, so that at one time this condition should become false. Once this condition will become false, the user will come out of this loop and we are not in the while loop. If you don't change the condition at some point, then this condition is true always and the code will run forever. So this we have to keep in mind, that whatever condition we are putting, we need to somehow change the condition. Maybe not all the time, maybe when you want to really stop the loop. Because if we don't change the condition, and if condition is true, it will go on running while loop. So let's check this in the file.html. So for example, I will say while, and I have to put some condition. What condition I have to put? I can say var number equal to 10. So let's say one variable is there which is 10. So I can put the condition for y number equal to 0. Initially, I will put the number equal to 0, and here I will put the condition if number is less than 10, then run the following code. What code you have to run? Console.log number is, I will print the number. So when first time the program runs, number is 0, and it will go here while, and it will check this condition. Number is less than 2. Is this condition true or false?
True.
True. So it will go inside this curly brackets. Why it is true? Because number is 0 and we are checking number is less than 10. So that means it is true condition. So that means it will go inside this curly bracket and it will print number is 0. I haven't put any condition, change in the condition. So that means second time if loop run, it will again say console.log number is 0. Then again it will run this and it will say number is 0. It will go on running this console.log till the browser crashes. So because we are not changing the condition, we are displaying whatever the number is, and initially this condition is true because number is less than 10. So what we have to do, we have to change the condition every time the loop runs. So I will say number plus plus. That means I am adding the number. So first time it is 0, it will run this because this condition is true. it will run this, and then it will increase the number to 1. Second time it will go here, and 1 is less than 10. That means it is true. So it will console.log, and it will increase the number. So it will go on doing this till 9. And when it reaches the number 10, that means number is less than 10. No, number becomes equal to 10. So that means this loop will not occur, and user will come out of the loop, and we can print done. So initially I gave some variable, and I check this variable with some condition. So this is the condition. If it is true, we go inside the loop, and if it is false, we don't go inside the loop, we come out directly out of the loop. So initially the condition is true because 0 is less than 10. So it will go inside the loop, and it will increase the number to 1. And second time it will go 1 is less than 10. Yes, it will go again. Then again it will increase. Again it will say 2 is less than 10. Yes, so it will go inside 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When it becomes 10, it will check this condition. 10 is less than 10. No, that means it will come out of the loop, and it will print this. If we don't put this part, then this loop will go on running forever. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't feel clear, or if you don't understand, just ask me. Otherwise, I will feel that you understood the things. So let me put this in our notes, and I will also put in the chat. Now, this one was about JavaScript, today's JavaScript. So what is pending in the JavaScript? If we go in our syllabus, we have a lot to do. This is the basics in the JavaScript. Don't consider this is the overall JavaScript. We are done with these 3. We are done with this 2. We are done with this 2. We are done with this 2. We are done with this. So we have to do not sign. And we have to do 2 more things. It is called break and continue, which we will do tomorrow. These 3 things we will do tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Monday. So these 3 things. After this, we are done with the basics of JavaScript programming. We will move to advanced part of the programming, where I will give you small problems which we have to solve using the JavaScript. Okay, so this is all about JavaScript, today's JavaScript. Let's start with the PHP. So we did edit part yesterday. I will not do the edit part today. I will do. So we have seen update record using the first method. If you don't understand, watch yesterday's video again. Today we will see how to update the record using the second method. Since in the insert record also we saw 2 ways. So in the edit record also we have to see 2 ways. Yesterday I created the browse to, and I gave the link of edit to the edit page. If you see the edit link, how I created with the edit page. Then I pass ID equal to whatever ID I want to edit it. So today I won't be doing this, repeating this page again. I will make only the edit page like this using the second method. Which method? Second method. That is this method. And I will pass the ID in the URL directly. So you will see what I mean by it. So let's try to edit one of the form. So let's take one table which we built in last few days. So let's try to see what is there in table 2. Okay, in table 2 we have ID and name. So I will take this table so it is easy to understand, and I had to build only the one field called as name. So if I see data, there is no data in it. We have one data, many. Let's try to insert few more data here directly in the phpMyAdmin. So for example, I will put Carrie, I'll put Kate, and I'll insert some more records. Okay, I will put Ita, I will put Kavita, a few records in the database. So if I go to the database, we have 5 records. So let's try to make edit page for this second table using the second method. Which method? This second method. You know already the first method, and if you forgot, just repeat yesterday's video. So let's do the second method. Let me create one file, edit2.php. So I will open edit2.php. Now I will write down edit using manual form. So initially, if I go to this first method, you will see the form was created by the Dreamweaver. But many times in the practical world, you don't have the form. You don't have the form. You don't create the form yourself. It is created by some other person. So we need to use update record second method where the form is already created by some other person. We need to just use this form. Okay, so let's try to use this one. So I will create one form and then I will use this method. So first thing is I will create a form. And in this form, I have to create the field. What is the field I have to create? I have to create the field name. So let me create the field name and I will create the text box and I will change the text field to name. So, this is the name. This is the custom form I created myself and I will create a submit button. And here I will say update record. So in practical world, you will get this form by someone, some developer who will be building the form. So you need to only put the PHP code in it. So now how to put the PHP code in this name field. So before using the edit form, we need to create, I already showed you, we need to create record set. So I will go here and I will create the record set. So for edit, record set is a must. And I'll say connection and I will use the second table because I am trying to do update on the second table. And I will put the filter that is ID equal to URL parameter ID. So this ID will come from the URL. In the URL, I will pass this ID. Here in the URL, I will pass this ID. So I have to make filter ID equal to URL parameter ID. I will click OK. So edit record set is already created. Now we will use the edit second method. I'll go to update record and I'll say update record second method. So here it's saying which form, that is form 1. If we have multiple form in the page, it will show all the form here. Right now we have only one form, so it is showing only one form. I will choose the connection. So which connection I want to take. Now which table I want to edit? I want to edit second table. So now we have to map this database columns with the form columns. So if I click name, here I have to choose the form.name. So first text field is called the name. So it is saying form.name and we have to map with the database name. So since we check this and we selected form.name, that means both are mapped now. That means the name field which you put in the form will go in the database as a name. And after updating, where you want to go. Let's say I don't want to go anywhere. I want to go on this page only. Otherwise, I can send the user to a previous page, that is, for example, like we did yesterday. We send it to browse 1 or browse 2. Let's say I can choose browse 1. That is, after updating the form, I want to send the user to browse1.php. But right now for today's demonstration, I don't want to send anywhere. I will just redirect it to current page only. After edit, just come to same page and I will click OK. Okay, it's saying primary key. Choose the primary key. So I will select this ID and I will make it as a primary key. Here it's saying primary key already. Okay, unused primary key. Got it. So there is some problem. So what I did, I created a form and I created the fields which I need to update. I created one record set which will take the ID from the URL and I click OK. Now I have to create hidden field. Whenever I want to do update record, I need to create one hidden field and the hidden field name is called ID. That is the primary key which you used in the edit in the table. Which is the primary key? This is ID, the primary key. So I created one hidden field with the ID and I have to give the value of this ID. Since I created record set rs edit, I can choose the value by clicking this dynamic box. Once I click dynamic box, I can choose the ID from the record set. I click OK. I can select this text box also, the name text box, and I can choose this dynamic value. I click this dynamic value and I choose the name in it. And the name is here. Now we have to do these steps before we use the update part. Now I will go to the application object. I will click the update record and I will choose the update record. And now I will choose the connection. I'll choose the second table. Since ID is selected from the form.id which we created as hidden field, name is selected from the form.name which is this one. And since both fields are selected, we are good to go. And here, after updating, where should I go? I will go to the current page. I will click OK. Once I click OK, update record is created here and I can update it. So let's test this update form. I will preview in the Chrome. So here I have to pass the ID which I want to edit it. Let's say ID equal to 2. Once I say ID equal to 2, it is already showing the name with value which is for ID 2. If I pass it 3, it will show the name with the ID 3. If I browse it, you will see 3 is Kate. If I pass 4, it will show Nita. So let's say if I want to edit it to Nita's S and I will update record. Once it is updated, you will see in the table it is changed to Nita's. Let's say if I want to change the first name. So I'll pass ID 1. It's Many. So I'll change it to Manish. And if I go to the database, it is changed to Manish. So that way, what we did, we created our manual form and then we added the PHP functionality. So let's recap what we did. Initially, first time you will feel difficult, but when you do multiple times, it will be easy. So what is the step? Method 2, edit. Method 2. What is the first step? Create edit.php page. Step 2, create record set rs edit or anything you name it. Step 3, create a form which you want to update. Step 4, fill the fields with dynamic values. Step 5, go to insert application object. Okay, in the form I missed one step. Step 4 is create one hidden field with primary key and change the dynamic value of this field. I'll do once more because it's a little complicated than yesterday. So you need to see one more time. Application object and choose update record. second option. And step 6, fill appropriate option in the form. Let's try to do again. What I did, create edit page, create a record set, create a form, create one hidden field with the primary key, change the dynamic value of this field, fill the fields with dynamic values. We have to change all the fields with the dynamic values, and then we have to use the update record with necessary option we have to choose. So since this is one only name, it is very simple to show. Let's try to do edit something bigger. So let's try to do first table. In the first table we have so many fields. So let's try to do the first table again. So look here, I am doing again because this is little difficult. So we need to understand it clearly. So I will create a page. I will name it as edit3.php. And I'll save it edit3.php. And I'll say edit form using method 2. So I want to create one form. And in the form, I'll try to put all the fields. So for example, first name. I will build the form myself. So here, this is first name. Then I'll take, okay, we have to take this first name as it's like this. Let's try to put second name or what is called last name. And I'll put a text box. And I'll choose the last name here. I'll change the text field to last name. Let's go down, create the email. And I'll click the text box, select the text box, change it to email. Let's go further. Date of birth. So I'll say date of birth. I'll put a text box. I'll say BOB. Then I'll say gender. So for gender, I will create radio button, for example. And I'll change the name of this radio button to gender. And I'll change the checked value to male. And I'll say male here. And I'll again select the radio button. I'll change the name of this radio button to gender. And I'll put the checked value as female. And I'll say female here. Then I'll go create a description. And I'll create a text area. I'll give some rows of let's say 10 rows. I will say 60 character 65. Rows will be number of lines 10. I'll make this bold. I will change the text area to description. Let's go down. We have to build this form. It is time taking. Generally, you will be already be supplied by someone who do the form. You have to just add the PHP code. Then you will use this method. So let's do description. Let's do the marital status. In the marital status, I'll choose the list menu. I will choose this marital status, change the name to marital status, and I'll choose the values. Maybe I can say single. Okay, it's a single, capital single. I can say married. I can say widow. I can say separated. Something like that. This is a marital status. What is another field? Created on, we don't change it. Access level, we don't change it. So these are the form fields. I will click the submit button. So to update the record. So we have created the form which we will update it. So before we update, we will create one record set. Okay, what is happening? Record set is showing something different. Okay, let me close this and open it again. I will create the record set, and here I will give the name of RS edit. I'll choose the connection. I'll choose the table, first table, and I'll choose the user ID. This user ID will be coming from the URL. I will be passing user ID in the URL, and URL parameter equal to user ID. I'll say OK. I will here create one hidden field. The name of the hidden field will be user ID because user ID is the primary key. And I will choose the user ID from this dynamic menu. This is RS edit, which we created here. And now we have to go back to each field and choose the dynamic value. I will choose first name for the first name. I will choose last name. From the last name, I will choose email. Why I am doing this? Can anyone tell me why I am putting this dynamic value?
So it will change with the ID.
Yeah, because when the page load, we want to see what is the, for that ID, what is the name, what is the last name. So it should be pre-populated when we load the page. So whatever the value is this for that ID, it should be pre-populated for that ID. Because this is edit page, that means user has put some value. We want to show that value to the user when the page loads. And then it is up to him if he wants to change it or not change it. So to show that, we are using this and this method. So I will use dynamic and I will choose the gender. So for each one, I will do this one. So female also got the dynamic. Once you do the male part, female automatically got the dynamic value. So you don't have to do multiple times, 2 times. So if you do for male, female is automatically done. I'll click this part. I'll click the dynamic part. And here, state value equal to is a dynamic icon. And I will check the marital status. And I click OK. So my form is ready. My fields are ready. I have created record set. I have created hidden field with the user ID, and user ID takes the value from the RS edit. I have pre-filled all the elements, input elements using the dynamic property here with the value in the database. This is the value which is coming from the database. Now the last part is we need to use the PHP code to update it. So I'll go to update record form and I'll click the update record. I'll choose the form, I'll choose the connection, and I'll choose a table, and we will match each one with this records. The user ID is the primary key which is taking from the user ID. First name is taking from the form first name. Last name is taking from the form last name. Email is taking from this email. Password we don't want to update. Date of birth is taking from this date of birth. Gender is coming from this gender. Description is coming from this description. Marital status is coming from the marital status below here. We don't need this. We don't need this. We can, after update, we can send the user to, let's say, browse one page. What is browse one page? Let me double check. Yeah. So let's send him to browse one page. So we are done with the update record form. We are done with the record state creation, and we have done with the putting dynamic values in each field. So that is what we needed. So to preview it, let's pass it with ID equal to 1. Once I pass user ID equal to 1, I got this one. Last day also I got this one. So there is some problem with Dreamweaver. We get sometimes this text which we have to delete it. So once I pass user ID 1, all the details of the user ID is there. If I pass user ID 2, you will see all the details of the user ID is 2 and checkbox is created properly and we have marital status. So let's try to edit this one. Let's say pink, for example. Let's say email is kerry@xyz.com. Let's change it to married and I'll say update record form. So once I click update record form, it goes to this and you see the last name is changed and marital status is also changed. If I refresh the page, we will see the email is changed, name is changed, and marital status is changed. Similarly, if I pass 1, this is my one. So if I change it to married and update record, you will see this is also changed. I'll go back and I'll refresh it. It is changed. I can change the date of birth to 1, for example. So date of birth is changed to 1. So we created this form manually and we added the PHP functionality to this one. Is this clear?
Yes.
I know you don't remember all the steps. You will watch the video and try to do the things. But you should understand the flow which I did. And if you don't understand some part, you have to ask me. Otherwise, if you understand, you can do it at home again and again to remember all the things. So we did the edit part using both the ways. We did edit part. This one was yesterday, which we did was very simple. It creates the RS edit. We create the record set. Then we click this button and it does everything for us. We don't have to do manually so many things. Today we have to build a lot of things and then we click this update record. So there is little difference in both the things. If you have to build form yourself, you prefer this one. But if someone build a form for you, then you have to use this second method. Let's try to finish the delete record also today. So if I go to browse one, for example, or let's go to browse two. It's a simple. Here we will add one delete functionality. So for delete it, we need to create a file of delete. So I'll create a new file called as delete category. We are deleting category. And which table we are deleting? We are deleting from table fourth table. So in the delete category page, delete is very simple. Just see here, it is very simple. So I will create a delete category page because I want to delete the categories. In the delete category, I will click the plus button or I'll go to the insert application object and delete record. I will click the delete record. In the delete record, I have to mention primary key. So for category that is fourth table, what is the primary key? Let's check it here.
User ID.
Primary key is ID. So we have to just remember the primary key ID. It's ID, and we have to give the connection, and we have to choose the table. It is the fourth table. This is the fourth table, and primary key is ID, and we are passing in the URL ID. So I'm putting here ID, and the ID is this ID. So ID URL parameter ID. So both are ID. Like we do in the filter. This is similar to the filter. And after deleting, where you want to go? I'm saying after deleting, I want to go to browse to page. So I'm going to browse to. So what I did, I created the page, delete category. I checked the connection. I selected the table. I selected the primary key, that is ID equal to ID, and I tell the browser which page to go after deleting. So it's a browse to.php, and I click OK. So delete part is done. Now here I will create a link, and here I will choose the link of delete category, and I'll go to the code view. I will use similar thing which I did for edit. I will copy ID equal to this here. I'm copying ID equal to RS category ID. So this is something we are sending user to delete category, and we are passing the ID in the URL which we want to delete it. So I will now run this page. So now we have delete here. So let's delete this services one. I'll click this. It will go to delete page. Which is the delete page? That is delete category. We don't put anything code here. Nothing is displayed here. So what will happen when user click delete? It will go to this delete category, and here we have the server behavior called as delete record. It will delete the record from the database, and once it deletes the record, it will redirect user to browse to page. User will come back here with deletion of the record. So let's test this. I will delete these services. I'll click delete. It goes there and come back with deletion. So I don't see services now. Let's delete personal. It goes there, delete it. 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 Delete all the records. So if I browse now, nothing is there. Let's try to insert some more fields. Category A, sorting 1. Category B, sorting 2. Okay, so I added couple of records. So now we have two categories. Now again I'll delete it. I get another category. So how I did it? Just create a delete page and create the delete record server behavior. Let's do it for the other table. Let's do it for the table. Let's go to browse one. We have table, first table. So similarly, what we did, delete category, we will create a new page called as delete user, because first table is using the users. I'll create delete user. I'll go to the insert application object, delete record, and I'll choose the connection, choose the table, first table. Now we are deleting from the first table. Choose the user ID, and we are passing user ID in the URL. And after deleting, where I want to go, I want user to go to browse one page. Is this clear, this part?
Yeah.
Yes.
Select the table, select the connection, select the filter. Filter is similar to what we did for the record set. That is, primary key should be equal to URL parameter, and it is should be same user ID. So these should be same both together in all the cases. If this is ID, it should be, this will be ID. If this is delete ID, this will be delete ID. So we have to keep this same. We can change it also, but right now keep it same. And then after deletion, where you want to send the user to, we will send the user to browse one. I will click OK. I will save it. Now I will go to the browse one page, and I will select this delete part, and I'll send the user to delete user page. And I'll go to the code view. I will copy this part user ID from the question mark. I will put it here in the delete one. And now I will view it in the browser. So now we have two records. If I click any of the record, it will be deleted. If we want, we have to create again. So let's delete the record. Let's delete the record. So we deleted both the records. So is the delete and edit clear?
Mm.
Okay, so you have to practice hard. so that you should remember it. If you don't practice now, in the end, you will be getting too much things to practice it. So it's better you do it practice now, so that it will be very easy to do that. Now, after this one, what I showed you, edit 3. This is the manual way to create the edit. That is the second way. This update record is the second way. And I am touching this Dreamweaver after 8 years, because in 8 years I never created the website using this Dreamweaver method. I was always writing the code myself. See, the code is generated by the Dreamweaver. So I was doing this before 8 years. I was using the Dreamweaver to do a lot of things quickly. But in 8 years, I never touched this part. I was writing this whole code myself in all the projects, because when we go for job, they expect you to write the code, right? They expect you to write the code. So I was writing all the code myself in this 8 years. Before that also, I was writing it also, but for my personal project, I was using the Dreamweaver to do that. And today or few days back, when I started teaching you, I touched this part again to show you how to do the things. And I perfectly remember, I haven't seen, before coming to class, I haven't seen how to do that. I remember from my past experience how to do that, because I did this thousands of times before 8 years. So once you get this idea, you will never forget this. I mean to say, once you understand this whole process, you will never forget, because everything is intuitive. You don't have to remember anything. It's already explained, self-explanatory. You can build whole website without, thinking. It's just come from the mind. Okay, I want to delete the record. I want to first create the record set. Then I have record set. Then I will fill the form with the record set. Then I will create the hidden field, because I need the hidden field to update the record. And then I create the update record. So it's all intuitive. Once you get the idea, you will never forget this thing, because everything is on the screen. We do bold, italic. How quickly we do? Just click bold, it will become bold. Just click I, it will become italic. So same thing will happen when you do many times this thing. After a few days, you will feel it very simple, because it's it's intuitive. You can directly see and you can do the things. If I ask you what insert does, you know that it inserts the record in the database. What does update does is update the record. Delete does deletes the record. So all things are very intuitive. You can do yourself. It is self-explanatory. And when you build something, this kind of thing in the Dreamweaver, then don't tell anybody that you have done using Dreamweaver. Tell them you have written this whole code yourself, because you don't have to disclose your secrets. This is your secret to build the site very fast. You can build this site very fast. Don't disclose that you have done this using Dreamweaver. Do it with Dreamweaver, but hide the things. It will help you, because tomorrow, this edit part, they expect you can do in 1 week period, for example. So this edit thing you can do in 1 week of time. But when you do in reality, you can do it in 5 minutes. See, I did it in the 5 minutes. So you will get buffer of 1 week. Your manager will say, okay, build the form in 1 week. You will do it in quickly in 5 minutes, and then you don't tell that you have done it in 5 minutes. Just hide the things and just say, after you are done with it, after 1 week, you say you have written this code yourself. Don't say that you have done it with Dreamweaver. And if he knows the Dreamweaver, then you can say, but as far as I know, right now, nobody uses this except me. So except me, nobody knows this is created by Dreamweaver. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we will build the websites, we will build website very quickly. Maybe in a day or two, we will build complete website. And you will put that in your resume. But when someone asks me how much time you take to build this one, you will say 1 month or 2 months, though we will do it in couple of days. But when
What
you
if
will,
we want to test you on it?
pardon?
What if we want to test you on it?
They want to test you?
Yeah, what if they ask to test you?
Okay, so you are asking that if they want to test you.
Yes.
Okay, so after few days you will learn this code. I will teach you all the code, how it is written. Okay, so even if they test you, you will be able to answer it. Right now you don't know the code because I haven't shown you what this means. But when we will build the website, we are done with some few websites, then I will show you exactly what is exactly the meaning of each line. You don't have to remember it. You have to understand it. So if someone asks you, you have to explain with your understanding. You don't have to tell exact code. Okay, I put if this, this. You don't have to tell everything. Just you have to say that form was created. When form was submitted, we put the data in the database. That's it. Okay, so let them test it. I will explain you each line of the code.
Perfect.
Pardon?
I said perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so this is the secret. I never told this secret to anyone. My manager asked. I said, I build the things, but I never say everything to everyone. So we will build like this thousands of websites. This is the 3 ideas I have told you, right? Yesterday, where is that 3 ideas?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Let me see that idea. So I have only showed you these 3 ideas, but we will not finish up till 3 ideas. We will make 1,000 websites, not one or two. We will make 1,000 websites in a period of 6 months to 1 year.
Okay.
So all this website you will put in your resume. Okay, and when someone asks you, you will say it will take so much time. Though we will be finishing all the 1,000 websites in period of 6 months to 1,000 website in 6 months to 1 year. But all the websites you can show it as a 10 years of experience. Though we will complete it in 1 year because nobody has built 1,000 websites. Have you seen any resume of 1,000 websites? Nobody has done that. All if I let's take my resume. I never put. I have built more than 300 websites using Dreamweaver, but I have never put all these 300 websites in my resume right now because those are not live now. Okay, when I was learning, I built at that time. So try to build your resume from now only. So after 1 year, you will getting too many job offers once you complete it because you will be showing 1,000 websites which no one has put it. See, this is my LinkedIn profile. If you see, uh, you know, if you see each project which I have done, let's go to the projects. Where is the, okay, let's go to each company. So for example, take this Shakli company. I am here 5 years, but I show only that I have done only one project. That is that Shakli.com. There is only one website, Shakli.com. I'm working for one website only in 5 years. Okay, here Cisco, I did only one website. In Likelist, I did only one website, though it was too many modules inside it, but it was only one website. Trulia is one website. In Zorient, I did 5-6 websites. In I am wanting, this is where I use real Dreamweaver. I build complete Facebook-like website with Dreamweaver, and it has all the modules which you see in the Facebook. I built complete. I was a single developer in this company, and I used complete full Dreamweaver. I was not coding manually, though I code little bit manually because you cannot build everything in Dreamweaver. Though 80% you can build with whatever I am teaching you, you have to add 20% of code to customize it little bit as per requirement. So I built complete website like Facebook in this one. So if you see my resume also, you will see only 20 projects in 15, 17 years of the experience. So, but with when I'm showing you now, I will be building 1000 websites in front of you, and you will put all 1000 in your resume. Okay, when we are done with all the websites, we will not be doing all the websites in PHP, but backend will be PHP. Let's say we do React, but we need the backend. Backend will be PHP. Let's say we are doing in Angular. So the front end will be Angular, but backend will be PHP. So you should know this PHP part, which I am explaining you. Whatever project we do, backend is PHP, and we will be using lot of this code, whatever I showed you here. And there are some ready-made functions also, which I will give you, which will make your site building faster. Okay, and I will add this. This is only 3 websites. I will add 1000 websites gradually. Once we are done with 2 or 3 websites, I will be adding 5 to 10 more websites. And then once we are done with 5 to 10 websites, I will be adding more 5 to 10 websites. So this way, I will be creating 1000 websites which no one has built in his whole career. Is this clear?
Yes.
So you will enjoy a lot. You will see how we are doing the things very fast, and we will make each site live. And once we make each site live, some may be paid, some may be free. And if it is free, we will be doing advertisement. And we will be, earning from it also. Let's say we build a live reminder, and we will be earning from it also, and we 3 will share from it. Okay, whatever it comes money, we all 3 will share.
Yeah.
So that it's a partnership. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yesterday we put a horoscope, right? I forgot to check the horoscope, right? I generally check. So let's say if it's a Kate, sorry, let's say Kate with Carrie. I want to see how much you both match. So you match 26 points. It's a very good match. So
Great.
Kate with many is 20 points. Carrie with many is 18 points. Carrie with Kate is 25 points. So you both match better than me. So this is a matching point.
It must be the female.
Yeah, it's a not female and male kind of thing. It's kind of I check it with friends kind of thing. So user 1 and user 2. It can be female or male. It doesn't mean that only male and female. It can be both. If you have best friend, you can check with it. If you have enemy, you can check it with it's a real enemy or not. Sometimes your friend is real enemy, so points will not match with that person. So here I want to add one more thing, that is called question. User will ask question, and based on the time he is asking the question, I will say whether your question will be successful or not. Let's say someone say I want to become engineer, and he will submit it. Then I will say whether you will become engineer or not, because I will check the horoscope at the time he is asking the question. If the asking time is good, that means his wish will be fulfilled. So I will be adding one more. So I am not doing any more thing in my projects, because I want to do all with together with you, so that you should also put that in your resume. You should learn also that what I am doing. So whatever things I have in my mind, I'm postponing it till you learn that thing and you also build that thing. So we will build that part also together. This whole website is in Angular 1. Right now, Angular 1 is scrapped. No one is using. So I'm not touching the code this one. I will redo this website in Angular 2. And at that time, we will build some more functionality on this page. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So revise it, by heart the things, We have to do 1000 projects, remember that. And it is easy thing because many projects will be similar kind of thing. So you don't have to, if you build one, most of the time 100 projects will be similar, though the name is different, but many things will be same. So we will copy that thing from one project to another. So that doesn't mean that we will build 1000 projects ourselves. We will take some part from one project, some part from another project, so it will be easy. It's not that we are building all 1000 again and again. Let's say we build login page, we will use it on all 1000 pages. So this way we will reduce our work. Okay, see you on Monday.
Okay.
Send
So
me.
good practice on
Pardon?
weekend.
What?
More practice on weekend.
Right, more practice, do all the things again of this PHP part.
Yeah.
Which part? Let's say we did it, where is that one? The syllabus. Where is that syllabus? Okay, this syllabus, that is delete part, edit part, insert part, record set. Just revise it again and again so that we can build things very faster. Because when I start building the project, I will assume many things, that you know insert, you know edit, you know select. I will assume this thing. So you should be aware of those things before I really start with the real life project. Okay, and then
When is the real project going to start? Like, is it soon, or is there still a lot more basic information to give us?
Okay, so there are actually many information which I want to give, but I don't want to start the project after those information. That information will go on. I will be giving it regularly when time comes. So when is project going to start? So I will be doing this part. I'll be doing this part. I'll be doing this part. So these three parts and this fourth part. So these four parts are pending. Once I finish these four parts, I will start the real project. So let's say we do this on Monday, we do this on Tuesday, and we do this on Wednesday. So if we finish this by Wednesday, I will start the real project on Thursday.
Perfect.
Okay, so we'll start with this one, and I will also make more projects. This is a 3-1. I will think about more projects which is generally not available in the market, which is unique, and some of them we will repeat it, like I have in the mind. Like we have, let me close this recording, is not needed.